What's up, y'all? Um, my name's Jared. This is my first video on this channel. I just wanted to jump on here to talk about some stuff, some pretty heavy stuff. So I watched one of my friends die about 2 weeks ago. And so some clarification first. We hung out a lot like 7 or 8 years ago. We weren't very close whenever he passed. He helped my sister move, which I lived with my sister, but anyways, yeah, we weren't very close, but regardless, I went to the hospital and I saw him 2 days before he died. And then I went back whenever they were wheeling him basically to the elevator to go basically donate his body and his organs to a bunch of different people that needed them. So, because that's how far along he was into his issues where he just could not be recovered. And like I said, we weren't very close, but we were at one point when we were a lot younger, like right after we graduated high school, near 2013, 2014. I know, long time ago, old as fuck. Me and my girlfriend went to the hospital and saw him get wheeled out and onto an elevator where he never came back from. And there were several people there that were very, very close with him that I've known throughout the years. And it was really tough seeing this dude like that. He basically drank himself to death. He drank so much alcohol that his kidneys and his liver failed. And it caused him to have an infection in his abdomen, and his skin was jaundice, and his eyes were jaundice. And it was a very, very bad situation. And he was 1.5 months younger than I am. And this is definitely not the first time that I've dealt with death in my life. And there's definitely been people that have been closer to me that have died that I've dealt with. Over 35, I think, at this point. Seeing him like that was pretty tough, man. If you've never experienced anything like that, because this is the first time where I actually was able to say bye, I guess, because I've been to so many funerals for people that are younger than 25, where it's just, we were going about our lives, haven't seen them in a couple years, and then boom, they're dead, and I end up at a funeral for gunshot wounds, drug overdoses, car accidents, stuff like that. But this one was different because my friend was awake. Allegedly he was awake. I don't know. He was unconscious to me, but they said apparently that he could hear us when I saw him. But when I saw him, he was hooked up to more machines than I've ever seen a person hooked up to. And he looked like he was already dead when I saw him. It was very, very hard to keep composure in front of his family the first time that I saw him like that, because of the way that he looked. He looked like he was already dead. He looked like a corpse. His skin was gray and yellow, and he was breathing, but it didn't seem good. And if he could hear us, he had to have been scared. I really hope that's not the case. But this is what I've been stewing with in my brain for the past 2 weeks. And ever since that happened, ever since we saw him and said goodbye to him, me and my girlfriend, we were already, I'm 29, so I'm almost 30 years old. To me, that's crazy old, because I swear to God, I was fucking, 19, 20 years old last year. And then I look up and I'm almost 30, man. And people are still dying and going through addiction and struggle, and your demons always catch up to you. Yeah. And, sorry. Ever since my friend died, I have had a fire lit under me to accomplish more in life. I already had that. I've been making music. I've been working different jobs for, since I was 16, just trying to break out of the matrix somehow. But I'm still here. And to me, 29 years old is very old. When I was growing up, when I was 18 in high school and stuff, I never thought about being old. I never thought about, like, oh, that's not going to happen to me. I'm going to achieve my dreams. Like, obviously, like, back then, I didn't even know. I wanted to be, like, a famous rapper and stuff, and I didn't even know what that meant until I was, like, 23, and then I actually started going really hard into that. And then COVID hit, kind of threw a wrench in it, and then I kind of just fell off with the music thing. And yeah, just ever since then, just been trying different stuff. But this thing with my friend dying, it really got me thinking about the reason that we're all here. And I'm like, sorry, it's getting hot in here. I'm like, what is the reason? Is it to find fulfillment or purpose? Because that's what I've been looking for. And I don't know, it feels to me personally, it feels like it's on the other end of success. And I don't even know success in what. I've tried music, failed. I've tried data analytics. I don't like numbers. I don't know why. I tried that for a few months. Didn't like that. Sales. I've worked in kitchens. I've worked construction. Nothing really did it for me. Music really lit my soul on fire, but then there was like some mental health things, and I was kind of addicted to, alcohol and drugs. Not like one particular one, just the lifestyle of being fucked up and partying and stuff. But now on the other end of all that, all these things that I thought were going to be the thing that gives my life purpose, they all were not. None of them were. So what do we do now? Do we keep looking? Or do we give up? Commit suicide? Just stop working? Just become homeless? Start doing drugs again? Like, I feel like, and I know I'm not special. I know there's like 30 or 300 million people that live in America alone. I know at least half of the dudes my age, are going through the same fucking thing. I work at an Amazon warehouse. I don't work for Amazon. I work for a company that is contracted by Amazon to do work in there on the robots and stuff. But yeah, I know 80% of the people here don't want to be here. We're just here paying bills. And then when you get off work here, it's an 11-hour shift, 30-minute drive home, and it's a 30-minute drive to get here. You get like 2 or 3 hours to yourself a day. So what do most people do with those 2 or 3 hours? They, relax or have a drink or work out or play video games or work on their small business or you know, whatever it is that you do, I know I'm not special is basically what I'm trying to get at. I used to get off work, be like, oh my God, I worked so hard this week. Time to go get fucked up. Let's go get trashed. And I would spend like so much money on alcohol and drugs and stuff. That was a different time before I met my beautiful girlfriend. She got me on the right track for real. But now I get off work, I try to either work out or work on something that will give me purpose or success. Or in my mind, success equals purpose. So it's kind of the same thing that I'm chasing. But at the end of the day, I don't know if there is purpose. I don't know if what I'm chasing is even a thing. Because to me, it might as well not be. I've never been able to attain it. So I'm obviously going to keep trying. Like I said, there's the only other alternative is to like give up, which is to like kill yourself or, you know, just be homeless. And coming from the background that I have, where I've been around a lot of addiction, drugs, and alcohol, I know for a fact that if you keep doing that, if you keep drinking and partying and doing that shit, you will. It might not be like next year, the next 5 years, or the next 10 years, but if you keep down that path, you will end up dead, in jail, or on the street. I swear, like, there's no other, unless you prioritize your health in every sense of the word, you will end up in one of those three things early, like dying early from drinking, or on the streets because you prioritize getting fucked up over purpose or success. And I'm not saying this on like any pedestal. I'm saying this from somebody who's dealt with this stuff personally, like personal experience. I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else or trying to give y'all advice. I'm just saying that's where I know I was going to end up if I kept doing the shit I was doing. And that's where my friend ended up. Early grave because he prioritized alcohol and partying over his own health. And I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody, and especially not people that are dead. Because it could have been me a bunch of times. But I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out, man. It's I think me and my girlfriend are calling this like a quarter life crisis. It's not a crisis really. It's just we both, after seeing our friend, were very taken aback. Very taken aback. And I keep coming back to this thought that what if the purpose of life, what if there just is no purpose? What if the purpose is to just figure it out, just to constantly just keep going? Like that's the purpose, like, or to let me rephrase that, to love the whole time. So that means finding the love inside of these mundane things. Like the purpose is to find love and meaning in stuff that is purposeless. Like, I don't know, the quiet moment when you and your partner both get off at the same time. You've got to deal with people all day, and you both just get to come home, get in your jammies, and just sit there. That's a huge purpose for me. And I'm trying to develop this new style of thinking where I'm just grateful and finding purpose in stuff that is what I was telling myself before this thing where we saw my friend die. This is just a transitional period. Me working at this warehouse on stuff that I don't really care about and just paying bills. This is just transitional. If that's the case, the last 13 years of my life, I think, have been transitional. That's not right. There has been so much stuff that I can be grateful for that has happened in the times in between where I was finding my purpose. There has been so much to be thankful for. I met my beautiful girlfriend when I was at one of the lowest points in my life. I found myself, got out of toxic relationships, gained confidence, did all this stuff. And I didn't realize until like kind of recently that transitional period, that was me living my purpose. My purpose right then and there was to find my purpose. And now I'm realizing, the older I get, that is the purpose. Like, I know I'm talking in loops here, but it's like, that is the purpose. To find love unconditionally, find the light in these little things that are just mundane. But if you look at it through the lens of appreciation and gratitude, it changes everything. It really does. Yeah, and you have to do this, especially if you're not worldly secure, like financially, like you're not rolling in dough and stuff. You have to find this gratitude, this appreciation in the small things, or else you're going to become one of these fucking negative Nancys that walks around with their head down all day, blaming the world for shit, becoming a victim, just mad. All like, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'd say like 80% of people just walk around just not even aware that they're just negative as shit, just mad. They just see something on the internet and they're like, oh, they probably fucking used a filter, or oh, they're on steroids, or oh, they cheated somehow, they're rich, so they got this handed to them, or da-da-da-da-da. That's, people don't understand how bad that is to constantly be thinking like that. It's basically just saying like, oh, I would be there, and like, if I got what they got, I would be there. You don't know what they got. They could be fighting a battle that you're fighting, and you just don't know. You just assume, and you see it. I've seen it every job I've ever worked. There's people that are above you in the job, and they're just angry. They're just so angry, but they're not like constantly cussing people out or anything, but they just talk down, passive aggressive, just constantly assuming the worst, and they think they're smarter than everybody because they're good at their job, and they just talk down, and it's just, they don't get it. And it's just sad. It's sad to see the lack of empathy that has overtaken our society. And I think if more people found appreciation and light and purpose in stuff that they thought was purposeless, then I think the world would honestly be a better place. And we wouldn't have people drinking themselves to death or shooting each other over fucking traffic, or yeah, any of this bad shit that we have. I mean, it would at least help a little bit. But I don't know. I'm figuring all this shit out as it comes to me, man. I used to be a completely different person. And the older I get, the more I'm realizing, like, holy shit, I'm really going to be here for a minute. What if I never find my purpose? Am I just going to give up one day? I don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying to find light and purpose where everyone else says there is none. And If I die, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't stop thinking about what happens when you die. I don't know. I'm not a religious person. I was raised Southern Baptist as a kid. I am now not a religious person. But I am not an atheist. I guess I'm some form of agnostic or something, because I can't claim to know who's right and all that, whose God is the right God or whatever. I don't know. All I know is when you die, you're gone forever. There is no more you. Because if there was, you would come back and try to contact your family. But if you do remain some yourself and go somewhere else, then you are not free. You are not free, no matter what, even people in heaven. Because if you were free, you would let your family know that you are okay and stuff. So in my logical brain, I don't think there's a place like that where you go when you die and you retain some form of self. I do think that wherever you go when you die is easier than life. I do think that. But I don't think you remain, if that makes sense. Anyways, that's like a whole nother can of worms. I just wanted to get on here to basically air out my thoughts that I've been having, because I didn't know. I try writing in a journal, but my fucking handwriting is like terrible, and I keep losing the journal and shit. So yeah, man, finding purpose where it's hard to find it, and work on something creative. I've also found that to be, even if you're not going to like show it to anybody but yourself, just to get better at something and create something that wasn't there before, you'd be surprised at what you can do, like when you just sit down and just kind of play, because there's a lot of books out there that say you're at your highest self or vibration or whatever, get woo-woo on them, highest vibration whenever you are playing. So playing an instrument, doodling, building something that you've never built before, stuff like that. It really does. It's really cool. You should try it. Anything. Music, drawing, tattoos, fucking Legos, anything. And yeah, just appreciate everything. Everything. Your phone. I have a phone to record this fucking video on. I'm sitting in a car that I can take to work where I make money to keep my lights on and get a warm place to stay every night. That is more than a lot of people on earth get. And in history, people have been living way, way shittier than we have. So when you wake up with a roof over your head, a phone, a car, somebody to talk to, even a job, anything like that, understand that you are rich. Understand that you create your own reality. And you're not a victim. Life does not happen to you. It comes from inside of you. And you cannot change a single thing in this world without changing yourself first. Let me repeat that. You can't change a single thing on this earth until you change yourself first. All right, y'all. Peace.